Hello and thank you for watching. This is Jennifer Bowman with Olympia Piano, and this is day 7 of the 30-day overview of Nocturne in C# minor. Today we're going to be covering measures 13 and 14 in my score. This is the first scale, so it's this part. All right, I'm not going to be super detailed on the scale, the rhythm of the scale, because I have a whole video on rhythm for this piece that goes into how to fit that all together. I'll mention a couple things in this video, but it's going to be more of a general focus. So before I get into the lesson, I just want to say thank you for all your comments and your messages and your donations. It's been really fun to hear from you all over the world, hear about your experience with this piece if you played it for a long time or if you're just starting out. One of the reasons I do these tutorials is to share what I learned from my great teachers, which leads me to also share with you that I was telling my teacher, Dr. Leonard Richter, that I was doing this series because this was one of the first pieces I learned from him. And so he gave me some reminders of things not to forget in the tutorial. So I will definitely let you know when I get to those spots. So today we're going to start with the left hand. This is very similar to measure 5. Measure 5 we had C#, G#, E#, C#. Now in measure 13, instead of the last note being a C#, it's going to move down to B, which means that if we're moving the notes around like we did before, I'm going to put this E# down here. Now we have a C#7 chord. As I discussed before, this chord is not in our key. So what this chord is called is a secondary dominant. It's a 5 of another chord, and it happens to be the 5 chord of F# minor, which it leads to in the next measure. So the difference here again is that it is a full 7th chord. We're going to do 2 of those fingering 5, 3, 1, 2, 5, 3, 1, 2, and then that leads to the F# minor chord I was talking about. 5, 4, 1, 2, 4, 5, scoot over 1, 2. So F# minor. You see a circle in my score here. Probably I had a memory slip there or something. Now I remember why that circle was there, because the measure before we have 2 phrases, 1, 2. And then this is all together one big phrase. So we don't want a bump here and a bump here. We want it to be one big thing. So that's the fingering on the left hand. We'll go over the dynamics when we do hands together. Now, the right hand is our first scale of this piece. So one thing about scales is you're going to be playing them on the tip portion of your finger. You want to find the grip point, especially on these black keys. Make sure that you're not too flat, because that will not work. And make sure that you're not too curved so you don't slip off like that. To find the grip point of a scale, I like to start a little bit flat in a position, then roll up, and you will find the point at which you can grip the keys without feeling like you're going to fall off. So because I have a full video on the rhythm and the timing of this scale, there's just a couple of things I want to mention, and then I'll give you some practice tips for practicing the scale. The notes of this scale are simply the notes of an F# harmonic minor scale, which makes sense because we're leading to that F# minor chord. And so in terms of fingering, we have 3 going up to 4, 2, there's a third there, so notice that. So it's not, it's skip, and then 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So it's the notes of the F# harmonic minor scale, but starting on C# and ending on A. Let's go over some tips as to how to practice that, and one tip for remembering that scale versus the one that comes a little bit later. All right, so here's my first tip from my teacher. When you're first doing the scales, you want to really play forte, so you're feeling the weight on each note. So we're going to do that first. And then he said, make sure to also try really softly and really close to the keys. So your hands are glued to the keys. You're not lifting up high off the keys. Let's do that piano. I'm trying to do my crossovers so that my hands are on the keys before I play them. All right, so get that in your fingers, do it like 10 times each of those ways. And then my final tip on the scale is going to be watch your hand so you find a comfortable height of your wrist. I'm gonna also show you a side view of this to make sure this really makes sense for you. We don't want our wrist going up and down when our thumb plays. So we have to find a comfortable height for the thumb that's not too low and not too high, so you're pressing it at the tip like this. So stand up, find the height, and then try to maintain that height as you move down the scale. So this is, you want something like this. See how it's kind of like a zipper. It's kind of going up and down. Now let's do a side view of that, and then we'll play the hands together. First, let's start from underneath, find your grip point, see how comfortable you feel with that third finger on that C sharp, not too high, not too low. And then you're gonna stay at that height for the whole scale. Here's what you don't wanna do. You don't wanna drop every time your thumb plays. That's an exaggeration, but just be mindful. You want it just to go up and down. All right, so now putting hands together, we have in the first group of the left hand, we've got the 3 against 2. Again, I detail that in the other video. For those of you who are pretty familiar with 3 against 2, I like to think of it 2 different ways, either ta, tiki, ta, tiki, ta, ta. Or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It's as if you take the 16th notes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. All right. So I'm going to say for the left hand, in terms of the dynamics, we're going to go in a circle leading to that, and then it can fade as we've done before, and then this is going to be a big overall fade. So we're going to have 1, 2, fading, super close. Let's try this hands together now. So end of measure 12, please. 3 and 4 and So I'm going to do it a little more quickly with 2 slight changes. As we approach the high C sharp, I'm going to stretch the beat a little bit. So instead of going 3 and 4 and 1, I'm going to expand it. Imagine a balloon blowing up, and that's your subdivisions of your beat. So 3 and 4 and 1. So we can focus on that con forza. Item 2 is that the first 2 beats of measure 13 are going to be strong. So all the way to here, that's where we're going to add a tiny accent, and then that tiny accent will propel us down with that diminuendo. All right, so let's try that. In terms of pedaling, you're going to pedal here, here, and here, but hold this one for the whole measure. So just 3 pedals. So that's it for day 7. Thank you for joining me for this lesson. If you are finding these lessons helpful, please let me know in the comments. You may also share, subscribe, or donate to my channel so I can help more people who study this type of music who might not have direct access to a piano teacher where they live. I really appreciate your support. Please let me know where you're from, and if you have any questions in the comments. I will look forward to seeing you for day 8, and as always, thank you for watching.